Welcome back, guys. We're going to be diving into another Nintendo Power issue. May. It's summertime, right? School's letting out. Summer's ahead of us. So it'll be interesting to dive back to the next few issues on this series because these are issues I gotten and had plenty of time to read them, go over them because summer break was here. So excited to get these in the mail. I bet back in the day. We are diving in to May 1992 with this issue, volume 36, on today's episode. Let's get into it.
Books, guides, magazines, and everything in between. It's about video games, and that's what I read. Yeah, that's what I read. Russ's Retro Read.
So here we are with volume 36 with none other than Darkwing Duck right here on the cover. Let's get dangerous. There's also a Contra 3 super review as well. I don't remember him saying yow, thonk. Maybe some stuff from the show there. I did pick this up secondhand, so I got this at Retro Games Plus, so this wasn't one of my issues that I owned back in the day, but still pretty good condition. Let's dive into it. Wow, talk about awesome. Look at that ad right there. Get more power with Samus right there. Still just $15. You got the little ad you would send in right there. Do you want to triple your power? $14 at the newsstands. Buys just 4 issues. $3.50 each, or $15 subscription gets you 12 issues and a player's guide. So you get to choose one of these player's guides: Super NES, the NES Game Atlas, Game Boy, and Mario Mania. Nintendo Power lets you go behind the screens. Nintendo Power Magazine gives you the power to get into the games. And now you can triple your power with a 1-year subscription. Just $15 buys 12 power-packed issues. That's about 3 times as many as it will buy at the newsstand price. Plus, we'll give you the free player's guide of your choice. Each issue is packed with exclusive tips, maps, and you'll need the power to get through every level of your favorite games. It's inside information straight from the pros, and you'll only find it at Nintendo Power. What a sales pitch. Do you guys remember getting Nintendo Power at the newsstand? I honestly can't remember seeing these. I guess they would maybe be at like shopping stores, Stop and Shop, ShopRite, Big Y, stuff like that. Where else, I guess, like convenience stores maybe could have sold them. The only magazines I remember getting were Mad Magazines, and Cracked was kind of like a spin-off. I don't really remember getting Nintendo Power. So there we are. That's your little ad in the beginning right there. And one more with Game Boy. Punish your father when he gets home. So your Game Boy's missing again. Who knows where you'll find it? On his workbench, in the garage, under his recliner in the den, in his briefcase on his way home. You've given him his chances, but now it's time for him to get his own Game Boy. He's lucky that it's also time for Father's Day. It's time to lay down the law. Remember Dad on June 21st. That's great, targeting the dad for a Game Boy ad. I can totally see parents back in the day grabbing the Game Boy and playing some Tetris, right? Fantastic ad right here. All right, here's our spread right here. Darkwing Duck. We got Wacky Races and RoboCop 3 on NES. Game Boy, we're talking Batman Return of the Joker, 4-in-1 Fun Pack, and Work Boy. Super NES, we got Zardon, Super Adventure Island, Contra 3, and Super Soccer Showdown. And again, the classic series always come back. Playing the massive Game Boy under the covers with the dog. Are they playing a scary game? Why is he sweating so much? All right, Players Pulse, superhero for a day. Look at that, Link. Hey, we're streaming through Link to the Past right now, so that's awesome. Many readers of Nintendo Power have aspirations to become video game characters themselves. It's no wonder a video game hero always have special abilities. How many times have you slipped off into a daydream about being able to fly or being able to use magic? Here's some examples of the many ideas we have received from superhero wannabes. If I was Yoshi for a day, I would fly all over and eat everything in sight, except my Nintendo system. David from Portland, Oregon. I would like to be Dr. Mario. Then I could cure people and everyone would be healthy. By Steve. If I could have the power of any hero from an NES game, I would have the power of Lolo. Why? Easy. Not only would I be smart, so I could ace school, but I would be cute and adorable. I could run through people's legs to get the front of the line in the cafeteria and get my food first. Having the power of Lolo would be the best, wouldn't it? Evan. If I could be the Silver Surfer for a day, I would do what he often does, fly around on my surfboard in outer space. Since I would be coated with an indestructible silver glaze, then I wouldn't have to worry about oxygen. These are great. Here, another superhero. I would be Captain Planet for a day and have his special ability of destroying pollutants. I would purify the ocean and make the air clean and the land fertile. My dream is to be Ryu from Ninja Gaiden. He is a brave avenged fist, first in his father. And now Irene. He is also a ninja. I'm studying martial arts too. Ryu has been my favorite character since Ninja Gaiden. Eric. I wish I could have the abilities of Link in The Adventure of Link. I can use Spell to turn my enemies into monsters, Life to cure my wounds, and Shield to prepare me for battle. I wish I had Link's powers for a day. Adam. So you could write in here, send in your letters, and then they'll publish it in the magazine. Again, I never did any of this stuff, but kind of wish I did. What do we got here? Super NES trip winners. A lot of things can happen when you send in your player's poll card. These three guys got to fly to Seattle last November to see the sights, go to a Sonics game, tour the Nintendo headquarters, sit in with gameplay counselors, and receive a great prize, a Super Nintendo Entertainment System. From left to right, they are Michael Diallo, Chris Ruggery, and Billy McSpeedon. Our lucky contest winners also had a rare opportunity to test some Super NES games which were in development stages and had not been released yet. Nice, look at that. All right, pretty good. Let's dive into Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. I am the terror who flaps in the night. I am the winged scourge that pecks at your nightmare. I am Darkwing Duck. What a great game. Fantastic game. Great cartoon for sure as well. But they kind of took Mega Man's concept and then improved upon it, right? I feel like Darkwing Duck can do a little bit more than what Mega Man was doing at the time. Again, made by Capcom as well, so more props to them. Let's get dangerous. Let's get some tea. How about that? When the burgeoning city of St. Canard is stricken by criminal occurrences, there is only one dashing costumed adventurer who will, dash to the aid of its weary citizens. That eager enemy to all things evil is none other than Disney's Darkwing Duck. And now DW is on the greatest case ever in a thrilling, stimulating, and altogether delightful 7-stage adventure from Capcom. Agents of Foul, the fiendish organization for world larceny, are turning the city upside down with devious deeds. This crime spree has inspired Jay Gangder Hooter, the director of Shush, an agency to top secret that no one knows what the letters stand for. Who writes this? To call on Darkwing Duck. It's DW's job to track down and take the pesky perpetrators along with the leader, the sinister Steelbeak. There's so many PPSS, like, they love it. The game captures DW's animated flair to a T and offers a built-in stage select so that the players can begin their adventure on any of the first 3 stages. That's right. So you beat the 3 stages, and then another 3 or 4 open up. So they give you some screenshots right here. The city of St. Canard. So they break down the new bridge, center of the city, underpass, the tower, the warehouse, the woods, and Fowl headquarters. Darkwing's wonderful toys. Where do you get these wonderful toys? He's got a gas gun. When it's not loaded with special gas canisters, the gas gun fires stunning shots at a rapid rate. You'll need to collect gas canisters in order to fire special gases. Big canisters hold 10 times the capacity of small canisters. And they give you a breakdown of the special gases: thunder gas, arrow, and heavy. The cape. Darkwing's crime-fighting cape is not only stylish, but useful too. Pull it up over Darkwing's beak to deflect enemy shots. So you get a little defense there. You can get some first aid kits, diamonds, gold bars, and 1-ups. Bonus stages. By firing your weapon in certain out-of-the-way areas, you can make the go sign appear, sending you to a bonus-filled stage. I don't think I ever got any of the bonus stages. Can't say I fired in the right spot. So maybe they'll tell us on these maps right here where to fire. All right, let's dig in here and see. The new bridge. Okay, DW, listen, it's your old pal Launchpad. You're gonna meet up with some pretty mean creeps on your way across the new bridge, including that clown Quackerjack. My advice is take it easy and be sure to grab the hooks and lines that are hanging from above. This bridge is still under construction and there's a lot of holes. Giving you some good tips right there. A boost from a beam. The first hole in this mess of a construction site is too deep to escape from without assistance. Hang on to the lever and you'll trigger a beam to drop down. Just to the left of the right edge, hop onto the beam and keep on moving. Oh, see, so there's a bonus stage. There's 2 bonus stages in here. Where does it show that? 1. Where's 1? Oh, I see 2. Where's 1 labeled on the map? I don't even see it. Is it like tucked in over here? It's on some wall, so I guess, okay, it's right there. So you would shoot that there, get the bonus stage. I'll have to try that. Clean up Quackerjack's act. Right there, you get the boss battle. The Clown Prince of St. Canard is one quick kook. When you leap to his level, Quackerjack jumps up or down to avoid being blasted. At the same time, Quackerjack's banana buddy drops peels straight at you. Move quickly and be ready to fire a gas gun as soon as you level with the clown. And then if you chose center of the city, you get a quick rundown of this right here, and the end boss would be Wolfman Duck, which is a pretty cool fight for sure. Moving on with the underpass, the tower. And again, it gives you the breakdowns of where you can get the bonus stages are labeled, as well as strategies against the bosses, which are great. Liquidator lets loose his bubble blast. The dastardly deviant Liquidator files bubbles of gooey gunk from his special slime shooter and runs back and forth along the floor of his chamber. Hang on the pipe near the bottom and fire when you have a clean shot. Then leap out of the way as the bubbles head for you. You should be able to pound this dog without catching too much slime. And again, I'd be reading these in school, getting ready to play the game, or maybe rent the game for the weekend. What are my strategies for the bosses? Remember to come back and check your Nintendo Power. The warehouse with Megavolt as your boss, and the woods with Beat Bushroot, which leads you on to Steelbeak as the final boss. Sink this fiend's floating fortress. After you mop the floor with the agents of Fowl, you'll be able to go after the big bird himself, Steelbeak. Fly over to Steelbeak's floating fortress and show him a handful of heroic moves. Nice. Oh, wacky races. Okay. I've never played this one, but I heard good things about it. Hanna-Barbera Wacky Races. Dastardly plane crashed while he was chasing a homing pigeon. Muttley, that mangy dog, sets off to rescue him. Alas, software makes good use of the Hanna-Barbera characters in this well-animated item-gathering quest. Power-ups. Muttley will snag tons of scrumptious bones and valuable diamonds in every stage of his tumultuous quest. By grabbing bones, you can select helpful attack items and other useful power-ups for Muttley. Lazy as a dog. Let's take a break and look at some Muttley animated actions. He can be very particular canine. He's not extremely fast, but Muttley's steady trot will move you through the terrain. And you got a little bit of the cartoons on the edges here to give a throwback to the Hanna-Barbera cartoons right there that this is pulling from. And you have your course map. Looks a lot like Rescue Rangers, how their map is set up as well. Different attack modes. You got bite, bomb, a sonic bark, and some wings. This is an extremely useful item. By jumping and then tapping the A button, Muttley can jump much longer distances and then float down softly. Okay. Hip hop, splish splash, go go America. Yeah, this looks like a good time. I'm liking the style of it here. I'd have to write this down. We got a piece of paper this time. I brought myself a little notepad. Let's write this baby down. Wacky races. Maybe we could do a live stream of this in the future. Races. NES. Live stream. Perfect. Always love finding new games. Still, years later, looking through Nintendo Power, finding new games to play. Moving on, RoboCop 3. Look at that art right there, straight from the movie. Looks awesome. Let's dive into RoboCop 3. Protect the innocent, uphold the public trust, obey the law. RoboCop, the future of law enforcement, means that he says. RoboCop's newest NES adventure has him doing what he does best, clearing the streets of scum and criminals. New Detroit has been overrun by members of the criminal Splatterpunk gang. He must rescue his kidnapped colleagues and then fight his way to the top of Kanemutse Tower to discover a secret locked in their computer. What is the secret? If we told you, it wouldn't be a secret. Stage 1. So it gives you a breakdown, efficiency increase, you get a firepower upgrade right there. RoboCop's first mission sends him to Cadillac Heights at dusk of all times. He's there to rescue his partner, Officer Lewis, from the clutches of the Splatterpunk. But we all know that night is when creeps crawl out of their hiding places. No sooner does he arrive than RoboCop is ambushed by an army of thugs. Come and get it, scum. So funny enough, I did like a little side quest on some game hunting back in the day, and I did end up getting RoboCop 1 complete in box, RoboCop 2, and RoboCop 3. So I have all 3 of the RoboCop games complete in box with the manuals and everything. I think it was more of because how awesome this movie was and had a cartoon video game. Love the box art on them. So I was like, you know what? Got to complete the trilogy. I think RoboCop 3 plays the best. I forget. They all kind of play slightly different. I think maybe 3 was the better one. I mean, it looks awesome. He's got a jetpack on the freaking cover. So they break down some power-up items you could get in the game here. Kneel next to these power-up items to collect them. They will greatly increase your crime-fighting power. Firepower upgrades automatically affect your fire. Press select to choose a more powerful missile weapon. Your crime-busting arsenal. You have missiles, homing missiles, and a smart bomb. And don't forget the repair laboratory. After each stage, RoboCop can go to the repair laboratory to repair damage to his head, body, arms, and leg units. If not repaired, these units may malfunction during combat, causing RoboCop to behave unpredictably. Distribute your points to the head first. than the others as you have power-ups left. Efficiency is Robocop's life meter, but damage to his body parts causes annoying malfunctions. An interesting concept that they brought to the game itself, I guess, to add some more depth or realism to it. Who knows? Then it gives you a breakdown of the remainder of the stages 2, 3, and 4, bringing you to the final conflict. Certainly, if you're going to play through the game, it would be awesome to have this and go straight through it. At the top of the OCP tower, you must use your access spike to gain entry to the Katsunupe computer, which contains information vital to your safety. This isn't as easy as using a cash machine. What with 2 indestructible robo-ninjas harassing you, avoid the ninjas and stare near the terminal under the TV screens. For each second you stand by the terminal, you will enter another digit in the computer. When you have entered 12 digits, you will activate the Atomo destruction system and win the game. So it gives you a little strategy on how to tackle the ninjas. They got the ninjas right there. Lure the ninjas away from the terminal, then go back to the computer. So you kind of back and forth with this to get it done. Moving on, we have classified information. Again, I always love this section, going here to see if this week or this month with the issue was some game that I owned or maybe rent it and would have a code for it in here. Thriller Safari. We got a Secret Warp, Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, Password Placement, Maniac Mansion, Rock the House. What's this one about? If you haven't had it with Dr. Fred and his whole wacky mansion, you can blow the entire house into smithereens in one easy step. The steel security door at the top of the steps leads to a hallway. Enter this hallway and investigate the wall just to the left end of the security door. You'll find a keypad near the left wall. Use the keypad 4 times and you'll trigger an explosion that will make the mansion go up in flames. This is no way to win the game, but it's a quick and easy way to see it end. That's pretty neat. We got Super Mario World, Castle Comeback. While you enter and re-enter most of courses of Mario's Greatest Adventure, it seems that once the Koopa Kid castles have been brought down, there's no going back to them. If you place your character on the castle rubble, though, and press the L and R buttons at the same time, you'll re-enter the castle as though it never had been destroyed. I've never knew that as a secret. Look at that. It's a simple and easy one in case you want to play that level again. Super Off-Road. Man, I played this a bunch in the arcades. I would freaking play that non-stop. I love playing that game. Having the wheel and just spinning it. Can't say I played it much on Super Nintendo, though. In the money. In order to advance through the series of Super Off-Road races, you got to finish in the top 3. The sure way to do that is to start a 2-player game and control just one of the trucks. Since player 2's truck will sit idle at the starting line and only 2 computer-controlled trucks will race, you'll be a guaranteed winner. How about that? Wow. So yeah, even if you came last, you'd still be 3rd because player 2 would be 4th. Just rank in the money. We got The Legend of the Mystical Ninja, Sim City, Hal's Hole-in-One, and The Addams Family. Why does it look like it's on Virtual Boy? It's like red, this is red. What? Let me read. That's on Super Nintendo. The classic Addams Family theme opens this Super NES thriller, complete with the sound of snapping fingers. During the music, you can trigger the finger snaps by pressing the L and R buttons. Either snap along with the other snapping fingers or create your own snapping solo. That's fun. And then again, Wanted Special Agents. If you guys found any secret to games, you can write it down and send it in and put in your agent number. Everyone has agent numbers next to it. Again, I don't know how they differentiate if I want it to be Agent 116 and just send it in. No one knows. They're just like, all right, whatever. Unless they write and say, choose another number. All right, moving on. We got Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Continuation comic right here. We could dive into this a little bit. The young hero, Link, is finally beginning to realize the extent of his destiny after winning the 3 pendants of virtue. With the Master Sword firmly in hand, all that remains is for him to rescue Zelda. Can Link meet his ultimate challenge? Chapter 5, An Old Enemy. Power. So much power. It's like holding a lightning bolt. Woo! Swing, whoosh. You soldiers are just in time for a little practice. Ka-ching! Slicing through them, doing his little spin move. Wish. I did it. Exhausted. I feel like I've been chopping wood all day. Woo! Woo! Wake up, Link. Zelda? I must rest. I can't. Link, only a single night remains. Agaham will cast his incantation on me under a full moon. That looks like it's already full. What is this? Link, you must hurry. If he succeeds, the seal of wise men will be broken. The entrance to the dark world will be thrown open, and evil will overwhelm us. Do not forget the sacrifice your uncle made trying to foil Agaham's plot. And your parents, do you think it was an accident that they fell into the dark world? Please, you must destroy Agaham before his evil magic leads to Hyrule's destruction. All right, I'm on my way. I have sworn to defeat Agaham, and now I have the Master Sword to fulfill my vow. Nice little chicken there, right there at the night sky. So all the approaches to the castle are blocked by Agaham's sentries. Tomorrow the full moon rises. Yeep! Even approaching the castle means certain death. Only a bird would have a chance to get into the castle now. Too bad our wings were lost in the desert. You don't need wings to fly. Look at these soap bubbles. That gives me an idea. I believe a large bubble filled with hot air will float. But to make such a thing in one day will be hard work. That's correct. This bubble has to be airtight, right? Link, give us a hand, will you? I've got a rest for tonight. This won't be easy. At last, the full moon rising. Soon, when it reaches prime ascension, the pinnacle of the sky. King Agaham, the participants are complete. Then let us begin. Just got Zelda out there ready to freaking sacrifice her. Gotta love the arts, and the colors on these are great. Master Ganon. Now is the hour of incantation. You must not fail me. Yes, my lord. I sense a being approaching the barrier surrounding the castle. A being with intense emotional energy. What? Can it be him? Very well. I will send Princess Zelda into the Dark World before his very eyes. But if he can make it here. Link coming in on the freaking balloon. This is simple. I'm over the wall already. Whoosh, whoosh, ouch. I guess I spoke too soon. Woo! This is no time to burst my bubble. Plop! Whoo! Gasp! Shrink! Guards, meet the Master Sword. Nina Durita Cromagnon. It's Zelda. Agaham. Link, do not put all your trust in the Master Sword. Even its mighty magic cannot harm Agaham's body. It's my only chance. What are you saying? Huh? Then it's true. Went right through him. What? I can't move. Behold the last moment of Princess Zelda. I have been awaiting your arrival, foolish hero. Watch. Now as your precious princess vanishes before your very eyes. Ha! Now! Zelda! Crack-a-boosh! Ho, ho, ho! No matter. It's only a matter of time before the forces of evil conquer this world. Even the so-called legendary hero is helpless against us. The tribe of evil, now that we have the power of the Gold Triforce. To be continued in next month's issue. So it follows the game closely, and they did some liberties and letting the story stand alone as well, but always fun to have a comic break. All right, Batman Return of the Joker on the Game Boy. Love this art right here. Looks great. Batman isn't a man or a bat. He's a joke. Christ. Now that you got Batman in the palm of your hand, how are you going to get him through the 4 difficult stages of Sunsoft's Batman Return of the Joker? You'll have to run, jump, fight, and swing your way past the Joker's insistent bat hunters and cunning bat traps. Attack the first 3 stages in any order, and when all 3 have been completed, move on to the Joker stage. Limited continues, scattered weapons, and precious few power-ups mean that your skill determines whether you win or lose. It doesn't get any battier than this. And you'll certainly need your Nintendo Power to get all the tips and tricks here. New movement. The new Batman has one of the most radical moves in Gotham City. Push A when he jumps to a wall, and he will cling to it momentarily. Then make a second jump to the opposite direction. By jumping back and forth between close walls, Batman can reach higher levels and overcome obstacles. Don't limit your bat jumps to areas with solid walls. So he's got the Ninja Gaiden in there. Not too bad. Your bat toys can have the Batarang here, have a heart, and a life up. So obviously getting an extra life and getting more health. Oh, and you can use the grapple beam here, baiting the bat hook. When you push up on the controller, Batman fires his bat hook at a 45-degree angle. If the hook strikes a solid object, it will attach itself, allowing Batman to swing out over chasms, enemies, or traps. You could also fight while swinging. If you bash an enemy while swinging from the bat hook, you'll inflict damage without receiving a hit. All that information, then we get breakdown here of Stage 1, the sewer. Looks awesome. Again, I always love the details they have on the side here and the graphics along the top. So it gives you a breakdown where you can, each bat treasure you could get here, get an extra life over here, bat trapeze, you gotta use your grappling hook over here, jump from the top step and fire your bat hook. Swing to the right and let go to land on the far ledge. So these are boxes you can't break and can break. So some of them you can, some of them you can't. The destruction of Darklaw. Darklaw can't believe the Batman has made it this far, and he's bent on keeping him from going any further. This mutant attack comes in leaps and bounds. When he jumps up, rush under him in the direction opposite to the jump. Try to stay close to the spot where he'll land. Then as soon as he gets down, quickly punch him several times. The tough part is timing Batman's movements so he isn't touched by the powerful claw. Stage 2. Why did Batman cross the road? To get run over by my tank. Sometimes I just crack myself up. Gotta love the jokes in here. You gotta take out a freaking tank and then a Shogun warrior. Continuing on. Stage 3, the train. And then the Joker's Underground Comedy Club. Stage 4-1. You're just in time for the show, Batman, and you're the main act. The joke's on you, Joker. I'm going to bring down the house. That's it. That's all they give you for the Batman tips and tricks on the Game Boy. Batman Return of the Joker. Again, I don't think I played this one. I played the first one for sure, so we're going to have to add this to the list of games to get to. Batman Return to Joker. Game Boy. Fun Pack 4-in-1. So they give you 4 different games in this. So more bang for the buck. You get some chess, badminton, checkers, and reversey. And you can use the link cable. I love the art right here of the Game Boy with your link cable so you can link to a person. Right here, you got the official Game Link game pack. You can play the games in 4-in-1 Fun Pack in 2-player mode with or without the Game Link cable. If you don't have 2 Game Boys, 2 players can hand a single Game Boy back and forth for 2-player mode. Game linking gives each player their own screen to look at. With Game Boy, you must not have to worry about your brothers or sisters knocking over the board if you're losing, but you still have to watch the power switch. So if they're playing, they could shut it off on you if they were losing. Classic. Again, this wild art that the people are put together. Look at that. Are they on fire? What is happening? So wild. Wow, breakdown of Workboy. We talked about this in a few issues back about it coming out. So here's a breakdown. Why does it look like Doug Funny right there? Tell me that's not Doug in his college years here using the Game Boy, the Workboy on a plane. That's the actual size of the keyboard. 5 3/4 by 3.5. It's probably almost the size of like a freaking NES controller. Whoever said Game Boy doesn't have a practical side never used the Workboy from FebTech. The software, keyboard, and stand combined to convert the Game Boy into a micro workstation with more than a dozen useful functions, like a 5-language mini translator and 255-year appointment book. Clearly, FabTech is looking ahead. In the future, you'll be able to download data-based info directly from your computer to the Workboy's battery backup memory. So here's some of the apps, right, that are part of Workboy. A local clock, a daybook, keep track of all your important appointments using the daybook function. Temperature, your control menu, a calculator, exchange. You can do some records. Workboy's battery backup database will keep important facts and figures close at hand. Store addresses, notes, figures, and facts on your best Metroid 2 tip. Measures, accounts, travel. Why did they? Oh, I could have sworn. Oh, I must have said calculator. Calendar here, calculator here. My bad. Okay. And a phone. Not you can make calls, but you can put phone numbers, right? Phone book, essentially. Right? The Workboy can auto dial from a list of telephone numbers in the address book database. Hold the mouthpiece of the phone to the Game Boy speaker, then auto dial. Okay. Interesting. Just the one page of the Workboy breakdown. I've never seen this keyboard ever. Or that full setup. So wild. I wonder if any of these still exist out there, the Workboy keyboards with the dock there so you put your Game Boy into it. And the game itself. All right, moving on. Nintendo Power Awards 1991. The Nesters. Breaking down who won. Let's check this out. The votes have been tabulated and the results are in. The 91 Nestor Awards go out on a very best games for each Nintendo system. Winners are coveted Nesters are determined by you, the readers of Nintendo Power. Here we go with the winners. For graphics and sound. For NES, Battletoads. A big victory for the Toads. Rash, Pimple, and Zitz garnered over twice as many votes as the second place finisher received. Well-defined characters and backgrounds surely appealed to those casting votes. Second place was Ninja Gaiden 3. And third place really was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Although it was no challenge to Battletoads, Ninja Gaiden 3 far outdistanced Robin Hood in the third place. Wow. Graphics and sound on the Game Boy. Winner is Metroid 2, Return of Samus. Samus and her first Game Boy adventure dominated the voting in this category in much the same way Battletoads dominated in the NES category. This is quite an impressive win for Samus considering the competition. Second place was Mega Man and Dr. Wily's Revenge, and third place, Castlevania II, Belmont's Revenge. Two of the very best Game Boy adventure games round out the top three in graphics, sound, and category. And for Super Nintendo, of course, the winner's got to be Super Mario World. Mario received tough competition from other great Super NES games, but this game just cannot be denied. It's immediately apparent that a lot of time and effort went into making this game look and sound great. Second place was Castlevania 4, and third place Final Fantasy II. These two games, both with great graphic quality, fought it out for second and third. The edge went to Simon. For theme and fun, NES, the winner is, again, Battletoads. Another runaway award for the trio. Who can resist the Toads? The concept, characters, and plot of Battletoads makes it an extremely entertaining adventure. It's destined to be a classic, and the voters know it. Second place was Star Tropics, and third was Adventures of Lolo 3. For the Game Boy, Mega Man, Dr. Wily's Revenge. Everyone seems to love Mega Man. The novelty of being able to use so many different weapons and items makes every Mega Man game a sure winner. This game, Mega Man's first Game Boy quest, is no way different. Second place was Final Fantasy Adventure, and third was Operation C. For Super Nintendo, for theme and fun, again, Super Mario World. We're not biased, but there was hardly cause to the count of votes in this category. As we all know, the Super Mario theme is tired and true, but it's hard to imagine any game getting higher marks in the fun category. Second place was Final Fantasy II, and third was Sim City. For Best Challenge, on NES, the winner was Ninja Gaiden 3. The game-playing public knows a challenge game when they see one. Some may consider this to be an upset victory, but those people who are the ones who had never played the third game in Ninja Gaiden series. Second place, The Simpsons, Bart vs. the Space Mutants. I give you that. I live streamed that game, and it took me, I think, an hour or an hour and a half to beat the first level. That's it. Crazy challenge. And third place, Battletoads. Why wasn't Battletoads number one for a challenge? I bet most kids never got past the turbo tunnel. It could have been a full sweep right there. The Game Boy, the winner was, for Best Challenge, Metroid 2. With a wide variety of enemies, weapons, terrain, and game endings in Metroid 2, Game Boy aficionados have given a definitive nod to Samus Aran in the challenging department. How fast can you finish the game? Second place again, Final Fantasy Legends 2. And third was Dr. Wily's Revenge with Mega Man there. For Super Nintendo, Best Challenge, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I'll give it to that. Yes, a well-deserved win. This is truly challenging game. Arthur must complete his quest not once, but twice. Super Ghouls and Ghosts features some of the most challenging enemies we've ever seen in a video game. Second place, SimCity, and third place, Pilot Wings. I don't see any of those being on the list. There's plenty of other games that could have made that list. Who knows? Moving on to other categories. For Best Play and Control, we got Battletoads again. I'm just skipping ahead. Look, Battletoads, Battletoads, and Battletoads. Yet it freaking lost for Best Challenge? Come on. Could have had a full sweep that year. Best Play Control, Battletoads. NES games everywhere were hooked on the controlling the radical Battletoads in '91. The voter was not even close in this category. Again, a tip of the hat to a fantastic game. Second place was Metal Storm, and third was Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Wow, great to see those mentioned. Game Boy, Metroid 2. Again, a lot of people voting for that. Controlling Samus Aran and her almost unlimited jumping power provides great fun for all who play this game. Having easy access to many new weapons and power-up items also makes it enjoyable. Super NES. The winner is Super Mario World. Making Super Mario run, jump, and fly around the 96 immense areas of Dinosaur Land became a favorite pastime for many people in the later half of 91. Fly on, Mario. And moving on to best multiplayer simultaneously was Battletoads as a winner. Best overall villain was Bowser from Super Mario World. For most innovative game on any system, Final Fantasy II Super NES. And the overall best games, Battletoads NES. Absolutely no surprise here. Battletoads was by far the best NES game released in 91. Sure, there were other great games released in 91, but none could match the quality and sheer playing enjoyment that Battletoads provided. Congratulations are certainly in order for Rash, Pimple, and Zitz. Second place was Tecmo's Super Bowl. Third place, Ninja Gaiden 3. On the Game Boy, the winner is Metroid 2, Turn of Samus. Samus proves that no matter what planet she travels to, the adventure will always be exciting. The need for a second adventure for Samus grew from one just life-sucking Metroid left over from the first adventure. Game Boy was lucky enough to play host this time. And for Super NES, Super Mario World. Mario ruled supreme in Super NES overall category in 91. It's no surprise, every aspect of Super Mario World was fantastic. Mario's mission to rid Dinosaur World of Bowser and his minions was truly a delight to see and play. Let's not forget Yoshi. He played a big part in boosting Super Mario World to the top of the heap. I don't know why the editors won't let me vote on the games. The only thing they'll let me do is hand out the awards. Once again, the winners were obvious to me. I could have picked them in my sleep. Oh yeah, those statues don't look anything like me. Oh well, congratulations to the winners, and thanks for voting. Pretty awesome. That brings us to another comic break. We did Zelda, now we're on Super Mario Adventures. It's do or die. Oh no, Princess Pancake. Last month, we left the princess teetering on a tower while Mario and Luigi pondered how to cross piranha-infested moat to rescue her. Flop. Oh, whiplash. Looks like she's soaring with Mario's cape from Super Mario World. I'm flying. A cape-a-chute. What a concept. Instead of a parachute, a cape-a-chute. How far is it around the moat? We'll take a break soon. Can it be? I don't believe my eyes. Friendly Floyd. This color is hot, hot, hot. And I have to make up to match too. Maybe we could get a refund for that Yoshi book. Let's just scream before he can pull another scam. Oh, let's just scram before he can pull another scam. How about that break, bro? Are we sitting on a cannon? No, don't sit. Pow! He freaking punches him, and then boom, he gets hit with the bullet bill. Oh, that's good art. I like that. Boom. This must be the Koopa Express. Mario, wait for me. Woo! Hey, I'm pretty good at this. Swish. Just flies by the princess. Woo! Talk about a close encounter. Boom. Oh no. Splat. That bird looks sort of like the princess. Ooh-wee. It is the princess. Clear the runway. I'm coming in. Thud. Are you okay? Look at this art. Wow. What? You let my birdie escape? Or bride escape? It's not her fault. She's much stronger than she looks. The Hulkster himself couldn't have stopped her. Wow, they reference Hulk Hogan. She would have been a lousy mom anyway, Pop. Silence! Roar. Mellow out, Dad. Okay, so we lost the princess, but we found someone better. You rotten Koopa brats. Princess, she's out cold. What should I do? Look. What the? Sprang. Greetings from the Koopa King. He is holding Mario. If you want him back, you must give us the princess. If you fail to put her in this boat, Your brother will pay. Poor Mario. That's a blackmail. What can we do? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Did you like the book? A new miracle makeup kit could turn a frog into a prince. Do I look like I need a makeover? Come on, create a new you. A new me? I need a miracle. Wait, a new me? Could you excuse us? We'll be right back. Do not be long, Bowser is waiting. Follow me, Floyd, and bring that kit. Rustle, rustle, rustle. How do I look? She's on her way. It worked. Looks like they're dressing Luigi up as the princess. Creak. Grab her. Floyd, you better come through this time. There's Luigi as the princess. To be continued. We'll see if they make out the swap and save the princess and Mario in next month's issue. Moving on to Counselor's Corner. The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Where are the shoes? Early in the game, Link's powers can really be a boost. One of the most useful items is a pair of Pegasus shoes, which allow Link to sprint out of dangerous situations and knock over piles of stones and some other objects. After completing the Eastern Palace, return to Sharalaja's hiding place nearby. The old sage will give you the shoes as a reward for your courage. Simply press the A button for the dash attack. How do I enter secret rooms? Many dungeons and palaces contain secret switches to operate doors. Try everything. Push statues and stones, pull on levers and objects. Light lamps with your lantern. Hit distant crystal switches with your boomerang. Use arrows and bombs in places you can see the outline of a door. And smash into things at high speed. Some loose tiles act as switches, but if you step on them twice, they may close the door. So they kind of point you in the right direction there instead of giving it away. Then we got a question about Adventures of Lolo 3. How do I get through room 16-2? Let me give you a full breakdown of that right there. The Uninvited. Again, never played this game. Very similar to, what's the other point and click? Shadowgate. And Final Fantasy Legend 2, how do I raise human character abilities? So they give you the breakdown as well on how to do that. All right, how do we say this name? Zaradon. Sardinian? Who knows? That's an awesome looking mech robot though. You got a few of them here. Very cool art design for sure. What is this on? This must be on Super Nintendo, right? Yeah, Super NES right there. A Legend of Deep Space, a futuristic battle, a doomsday robot. The Alpha 1 system has been invaded by computer aliens using 3 sophisticated robots. You must unravel the webs of time. Find Zardon, the ultimate deterrent. The end of the war. Asmic's space action game lets you switch between superbots, collect cool weapons, and save via battery pack. Good graphics and music hold your attention through 4 planets on the way to Zardon. Okay, this looks awesome. Gotta love like a cool mech shooter. They give you more on it, yeah. So there's more gameplay shots here. Jungle gymnastics. Robots in the ruins. Wow, yeah, this game looks great. Never played this one. I don't know if you guys ever played this, but I mean, growing up in the 90s, right? You got Power Rangers with big mech robots, maybe even a little bit of Voltron left over. So robots were certainly big. All right, moving on from there. Super Adventure Island. Look at that. Got that big bird flying around. All right, let's get into it. It's time to return to Tropics. Master Higgins first appeared in the NES version of Hudson's Adventure Island, a challenging adventure. He returned to reprise his role in Adventure Island for the Game Boy and Adventure Island 2 for the NES. Now he's back to explore a big, beautiful paradise on the Super NES. Striking backgrounds and crazy enemies make this the richest adventure yet. But the game's best feature just might be its music. Crank it up and get ready for adventure with the tropical beat. Starlight, star bright. As Higgins and his girl sit peacefully beneath the starry sky, a curious creature suddenly swoops in and casts a spell that turns her to stone. Hurry, Higgins. Follow that broom. So it gives you a couple of screenshots of different levels here. Comb the beaches for the trusty tools. This hammer is for hurling. The boomerang always comes back. It adds up. Higgins starts with 3 lives, can continue twice, but 1-ups are few and far between. Earn one by racking up 100,000 points. Others can be found in hidden mini stages that sometimes appear when you jump in the right place. Why does this look like fan art? Right? It almost looks like someone sent that in. I feel like it doesn't fit with like what they have going. Well, I guess a little bit right there, yeah. Okay. Stage 1, palm trees in paradise. Back to the beach on stage 2. And they kind of break it up, stage 1-2-3. So you get your little boss battle right there. Stage 4 is the heat wave, and stage 5 from furnace to freezer. Lights out. And then what is this? Looks like it gives you a full map right here of the full stage itself. So it lays it out there, 1, 2. And this is also our poster that pulls out, but it's also our map. So if you're going to play the game, it gives you all the way to stage 5-1 of a full layout of what the map looks like. And then for our poster, we'll do a backup here so you guys can see. Look at that. We got Krusty Funhouse. That's a fun one right there. That would be cool on the wall for sure. Krusty's Funhouse. All right, moving on to Contra 3, The Alien Wars. They got it all metal, sheet metal or something that they're going for here, and you get a little spread shot right here of the box art almost with some of the bosses coming in. All new action. Jimbo and Sully, the Contra warriors, have some new tricks up their sleeves. What happened to Lance and what the heck is his other name? Billy and Lance. Maybe they were only on the first 2 NES games, Contra and Super C. I guess I don't know my Contra lore. Jumbo and Sully it is. They can carry a gun in each arm and can switch between the weapons at any time. That's right, so you can switch between the two. That's great. Good upgrade. The Alien Wars begin. Good God. The Alien Wars begin. It's time for revenge. Red Falcon is back with hordes of new and improved alien enemies. Konami scores big with the first Super NES Contra game. Contra 3 features horizontal and vertical scrolling stages and also shows off a few dazzling overhead views. It's an awesome 2-player game, and each of the 6 stages will test your game playing skills. Get a grip! After undergoing some serious upper body weight training, Jimbo and Sully now possess the ability to grab onto just about anything they can jump to and reach. There are sections of stages where it will be necessary to grab onto ceiling, girders, turning rotors, and even flying missiles. They will automatically grab structures if close enough. The streets of Neo City. Giving you a full breakdown here. Your weapon wing key. Watch your back. Corporals of punishment attack from just about any angle. So make sure you are scanning the entire screen at all times. More enemies will appear in the normal and hard modes. Take a tank cruise. You will be invincible while riding the tank. Fire the Conan cannon to take out the second wall barrier. So it gives you a full breakdown on how to go through. And then your boss at the end of the stage right here, Beast Kimco. The first boss you encounter looks a lot like a giant mutated turtle. The weak spot is the lower red area. Beast Kimiko will fire an intense laser breath blast from its mouth, so stay off the lower platform. Fire at the red spot from the ground level. The upper platform is relatively safe place to stand and jump if Beast Kimiko is firing shots at you. Then you get the top-down perspective where it changes. This was new to the franchise here. Maria Calendar on the highway. Power up hoarding twilobites have overrun this maze of elevated roadway. Your goal is to destroy 5 red corporals who rise up out of the doomed manholes. You can take out the corporals in any order you like, but the order which have outlined here seems to be logical to follow. Watch out for mine sections of roadway which crumble away from under your feet. You won't be able to survive the long fall to the ground below. So it gives you the order first here, then you come all the way down to fight this one. Come here, 4th one here, and then loop up to get the 5th one. The old Cyber Steel Factory. It's another stage you go through here. Gotta love all the, again, the little art that they throw in here on the sides. The Battle of the Blazing Sky. The Mucho Grande Badlands. I've never gotten too far in this game. I'd have to go back and really give it a go, or use a Game Genie or something. Look at the brain there. Red Falcon's main base. Stage 6 is the final challenge. Be prepared to use your knowledge of weaponry and fighting tactics, because you're gonna need them to survive. There are a total of 4 mini bosses to deal with before encountering Red Falcon. A huge golden boss and victorious slave hawk will try their best to put stop to your forward progress. Remember, there are 3 different difficulty levels in Contra 3. Each level has a different ending. Only the best will finish the hard level. Good luck. Man, you would have to sink in some time and hours to beat it on hard, that's for sure. The Super Soccer Showdown. Super Soccer Champ. Are these 2 different games? I'm a little confused at what they're showing here. It may be. I think they're kind of pitting them against each other on how they go up against here, because it has like different fonts and logos and stuff. Never played much soccer games. There was Mega Man Soccer, right, on Super Nintendo. Get into the action. Make your move. Super Soccer. All right, what do we got here? Sculpt It Software. Daring developers. Maybe some of the games that they were working on here. Vice President Hal Rushton left, and President George Mateo show off some of their accomplishments. So some of the games that they worked on. Wrestling workout. Creative characters. The programmers of Sculpt It dreamed up a new adventure for Bart Simpson that explores the boundaries of the Simpson universe. A New View. Looks like a baseball game they're working on. Super NES version of Roger Clemens' MVP Baseball below will include the same types of vantage points as the NES version above, with detailed 16-bit graphics. Oh, Players Poll Contest is a Scope It Out featuring, it's hard to read because of this thing in here, now playing featuring George, Rob, and you. I think that's what it says. Oh yeah, George, there's the guys there. George, Rob, and then it's going to be you. So they're doing a Super Scope contest here. First prize. Come to Nintendo headquarters and be a Nintendo Power editor for a day. Play the latest games, then take an aim at George and Rob. Give them your opinions. In a future issue, Now Playing will feature 3 guys or 2 guys and a gal. Your remarks will be printed along with George and Rob's. Second prize is 10 people. You get a Super Scope 6. Super Scope 6 set includes the scope and 6 hot games in a single multi-pack. And 50 third prize winners, they'll be scoping you out when you wear your Power jersey. Looks like it has a Nintendo Power with Nestor on the front there. Pick your own Super NES and Super Scope 6. Have a Nintendo Power lunch at Cafe Mario. Scope out the sights in Seattle. Where was Cafe Mario? Was that in Seattle as well? Official contest rules, so you'd fill this baby out and send it in. Answer the players poll. Some of the questions are, how do you like the new Now Playing feature, George and Rob? What do you think of Super Mario Bros. Comic? I think they're great. I like them. They're okay. I don't like them. Nestor's Adventures, a very short 1-page comic here. Looks like he's mimicking or hanging out with Link. After I dash against the statue to release the good bee, you use the net to catch it. Right, teamwork. You can count on me. I got it. No, it's mine. Bzzz. Get out of my way. Get out of my face. You made me miss it, big jerk. I would have had it if it wasn't for you. I got you. I got you first. Where are Link and Nestor? Perfecting their teamwork. Power players. So this is, you would take a picture and send it in to them to let you know that you beat the game or you got a high score in the game. Usually I check to see if there's anyone from Connecticut, where I'm from, that stands out. Doing a quick scan. No one this month, but we got ActRaiser, Batman Return of the Joker on Game Boy, so these people finished it. Castlevania 4, Final Fantasy Adventure on Game Boy. Any of the purple ones are Game Boy. Metroid 2, Return of Samus. A couple people beat that. UN Squadron, okay. Super Mario Land, fun game. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, got a few people here as well. Now Playing, May 1992. 2 guys' opinions on the latest releases. George, we've mainly got Super NES games to talk about this month. For the NES though, I can say that Darkwing Duck is a real winner. It's got a great character and that same cartoon-like style that has made the Mega Man series fun to play. It should be no surprise that Darkwing Duck is from the same company that has released the Mega Man games. I think that it's a real solid effort by Capcom with well-drawn graphics and some cool enemies and inventions. If you like the Darkwing Duck cartoons, you'll like this game. What other games they showcase here? My pick for Super NES litter this month is Contra 3: The Alien Wars. Your first target in this sci-fi thriller is the fancy futuristic sports car, which goes up in flames after you fill it with lead. Talk about an explosive beginning. Contra 3 is going to be a mega hit. The graphics are hot, the action is great, and there are a lot of fun surprises. You'll never sure what kind of danger lurks in the next stage. In fact, the game has some of the coolest enemies I've ever seen. The enemies are great, and some of the items that you can use are also pretty awesome. In one place, for example, you can climb into the tank and fire this amazing shot that makes the whole tank recoil. What power! All right, moving on to your guide to the latest releases. Just gives you a breakdown here of the NES, Game Boy, and Super Nintendo games coming out, and whether it's 1-player or 2-player, what type of game it is, and they give you a score as well. So Darkwing Duck, Comic Adventure, got pretty high scores right there. Batman Return of the Jokers, top of the list, and Contra 3, Alien Wars as well, top of the list. Here's the top 20, May 1992. Let's break down the top 20. NES, Super NES, and Game Boy. For NES, Super Mario Bros. 3 took number 1 spot. The original Legend of Zelda for number 2, and Battletoads coming in at number 3. Super NES, we got number 1 as Super Mario World with F-Zero at second place and The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past in third. On the Game Boy, we got Super Mario Land coming in at number 1, Metroid 2: Return of Samus, and Dr. Mario for number 3. All right, we got our celebrity player profile. Melissa Explains It All. That's our actual name. The show was Clarissa Explains It All, right? So you want to know everything about how you can be a hip teenager despite having a dorky little brother and parents whose pictures appear beside the word embarrassing in the dictionary. If so, you're not alone. Plenty of other long-suffering teens tune in weekly to catch the sage advice of Clarissa in Nickelodeon's Clarissa Explains It All. Nintendo Power. How much are you like the character you play? Melissa Joan Hart. In some ways, I am, but I'm not as much into computers as Clarissa is. We sort of dress alike, but my clothes match. How about you, Jason? Are you into computers? Jason Zimbaler. Oh yeah, I'm interested in programming and stuff. I use it for typing things and for doing my homework. If I'm not using it for work, I'm playing games on it. There's a lot of sibling rivalry between your characters in the show. Is there something on set too? And Jay-Z, yes, they both said yes. But mostly there's a lot of joking around. Between scenes, Jason always runs to play video games on his Super NES. What are you playing these days, Jason? ActRaiser. It's so cool. I've beaten the first set of monsters, and I'm developing Civilization and Northwall, if you know where that is. What did you think of the new Super NES games we sent you? I played Lemmings. It was really great. I like the challenge. It's really cool how you have to figure out what lemmings you need and put in the right places. It's kind of hard to tell the different ones apart from their pictures on the screen though. They were too small. It didn't take long to figure out the blasters, but some others looked too much alike. I played WWF Super WrestleMania. The graphics were fabulous. I liked running and bouncing off the ropes and move where you run and jump kick. I didn't play long enough to figure out what the X button does though. Well, how long did you play? Like 40 seconds? Have you ever called Nintendo game counselors when you've been stuck in a game? No, I just ask my friends. We trade tips and stuff all the time. How about you, Melissa? Have you ever called for help? No. When I'm stuck, I ask my sister and brother. They know everything about our games. Your character, Clarissa, creates great video games in the show. If you could create a game, what would it be about? I don't know, but the lead would definitely be a girl, and the boys would be enemies. Maybe I put Jason's face on a spider or something. Just kidding. How about you, Jason? I like games like ActRaiser, ones that make you think. I'd make it look very realistic, and it wouldn't just be a shoot 'em up. It would be a quest, not an action game. You'd have to think and find out what to do next. Melissa and Jason always give you something to think about in their show too. Be sure to catch them in the next episode of Clarissa Explains It All, airing Sundays on Nickelodeon. And then you get a little picture of them right down there. I always love these little celebrity profiles. A look into the games of the future at Pack Watch. Krusty's Funhouse. Bart's Nightmare, and Ferrari Grand Prix. So it gets a little bit of screenshots here of that. Well, I guess it's Bart's Nightmare, right? It's not another game called Krusty's Funhouse. Let's see. Krusty's Funhouse for the Super NES is nothing like the earlier Simpsons action games from Acclaim. But don't have a cow. This puzzle game not only looks good and features the world's rudest clown, it is also a super gaming challenge, I see. Actually, it's an adaptation of a computer game called Rat Trap. The object of the game is for Krusty to lead a bunch of mice into a machine where they are turned into balloons. Very interesting, okay. And then you have Lemmings is coming in from Sunsoft, and Dragon Strike by FCI. Although Dragon Strike for the NES is called an official Advanced Dungeons & Dragons product, this game has a little in common with the traditional AD&D RPGs like Pools of Radiance. In fact, Dragon Strike is an action game in which you control your own fire-breathing dragon in aerial combat. Sounds pretty fun. Capcom Gold Medal Challenge 92, Track and Field, and NBA 2. We got a little Japan watch. In Japan, there's sort of a tradition that when a new game in the Dragon Quest series, Dragon Warrior in the United States, is released during the winter, few other games are released in direct competition. Companies plan on releasing games after the Dragon Quest frenzy subsides. So imagine the mayhem when Enix suddenly delayed the release of Dragon Quest IV last February. No one knew when it would be safe to release their spring games. One game that braved the uncertainty market was Romancing Saga, a role-playing adventure in the tradition of Final Fantasy II from Square. The game for the Super Famicom has a great replay potential due to an ever-changing storyline. The battle scenes have the best animation yet for this type of RPG in the world of Marius is big. And what's on the gossip galore? Pack Watch can be a little like forecasting the weather. You never know for sure when a game will hit town like Gargoyle's Quest from Capcom. This NES title has remained exclusively on the horizon for several months, and our sources at Capcom still have a big question marks hovering over their heads regarding a completion date. Also showing up only on a long-range forecast is acclaimed George Foreman's boxing game. Pack Watch has learned that NES and Game Boy versions of the game are planned. We also heard rumblings about Spider-Man 2 for the Game Boy. Everywhere in Pack News, a nearly finished version of Super Faceball from BPS found its way to Pack Watch headquarters, where it has taken up a near permanent residence on our Super NES. Ha! Speaking of HQs, Toy Headquarters has a lineup that includes Swamp Thing for all three Nintendo systems. Where's Waldo? Family Dog, Robosaurus, James Bond Jr., and this Pack Watcher's favorite moose, Bullwinkle, all for the Super NES. One-time power editor and game guru, Howard Phillips, now directs the creative projects for THQ. Will Waldo be wearing a bow tie? Not. You won't catch Rare's Battletoads wearing bow ties either, unless they have spikes on them. A quick look at the early stages of Battletoads and Battle Maniacs for the Super NES revealed two-toed action and stunning backgrounds. Final analysis, the future looks bright. So they show a clip here of Super Faceball, Battletoads and Battle Maniacs, and Where's Waldo? And then this gives you a breakdown of next issue. Coming in next month's Volume 37, we have Lemmings, Dragon Strike, Star Wars on the Game Boy, and Arcania, an RPG game. And of course gives you a list of the back issues, special offers, all the player guides that you can get as well. And the Super Power 92, the Super Scope 6 Mall Tour. The trucks are rolling and the Super Power 92 is in high gear. The Super Scope 6 Mall Tour is on the road now through the end of May. The tour is stopping at major malls throughout the United States for the 3-day weekend events. Try your hand with the Super Scope 6, Nintendo's first Super NES accessory. Win cool prizes, play the newest Super NES games, and talk with Nintendo game counselors. Check the listings below to see if Super Power 92 will be making a stop at a mall near you. The dates and locations may be subject to change. Please call this number to confirm the tour. Wow, see, it came to Danbury, Connecticut, May 22nd to the 24th. So here's all the dates that it went through. So again, the only thing I remember at the mall was when the Wii came out. I don't think my parents ever brought me to the mall and I got to experience any NES, Super NES, GameCube, any of that stuff there, but this would have been cool to see for sure. That wraps up the issue right there in the back. Keep your game in high gear. Keep your winning edge with Service Mario and the Nintendo World Class Service Team. You can't beat Nintendo for great products and world-class service to back them up. Tune-ups, spare parts, repairs, just name it and gear up. Staying in the game by maintaining your Nintendo products. Wrapping up the issue of May 1992, Volume 36 with Darkwing Duck, on the cover. It certainly was a fun throwback to dive into this magazine, read about the games coming out, Super Scope 6 talk, and the celebrity profile where Clarissa explains it all. Definitely fun, and the next issues will be full-blown summer issues, so be sure to stick with us here on the channel going through these Nintendo Powers. Now, if you do guys want to get caught up on the series, I'll leave a playlist link right over here so you can check out the other issues that I went through on here. Always checking out awesome Nintendo Power magazines. It's a fun throwback having this subscription growing up and being able to dive back into these issues. As always, guys, I'm RussLyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit. I'll see you next video.